G'day everyone, welcome back to ECITV. It's our first episode for the year. It's been a while, actually.
Way back.
About halfway through the year.
I know.
Actually, it almost is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Been a bit hectic.
It's been crazy. And we had a very good response to our last video, and so we probably should have followed it up much earlier, but here we are.
Well, it's a lot easier now because someone's working here full time and makes it a lot easier to do things like this. So we should have a few more episodes popping up a little bit more regularly moving forward. What do you reckon?
That sounds good. But I have been here a month, and it's the first chance.
In the salt mines.
So we've got a little bit to discuss today. Let's kick it off with a World Cups discussion, since it's been a while since we've actually got together and talked BMX. So Ryan, you actually went to Brisbane.
Oh,
Yeah, so I travelled up to that warm, humid place they call Queensland. I don't know why anyone ever moves up there. But and it's also the first time I've seen Sleeman Complex in person. So it was there was a lot going on from me in the sense of stimulation. So like the complex is awesome. And then when you go and throw, you know, the world's best BMXers at it, it's definitely
yeah, it is impressive.
see.
I must admit, first time I went up there. Actually, I think I've only been up there once. But yeah, it certainly is impressive. There's no question about that.
Yeah, I mean, you can watch it on clips you see and stuff like that, and then when you ride it, you go, this is nothing what it looks like, and you see people ride it at the pace they do.
Yeah. It's truly a supercross track, isn't it? Even the amateur section is quite tricky.
Yeah. So, but no, it was, every day was just packed. I mean, not even, because obviously we had the national round before the World Cup leading up to it. So for everyone, you see all your locals and, you know, your local rock stars race and that sort of stuff. And then just to sit back and watch the World Cup Saturday and Sunday, it was awesome. Like, I can't, you know, I mean, the vibe was different. I mean, only a couple of years ago we were at Shepparton for the World Cups and stuff like that. I found Sleeman didn't have that same relaxed atmosphere as that Shepparton did, where it was a bit more easygoing. Everything seemed to be...
Must have been the heat.
I reckon. All the Victorians up there whinging about the heat and that sort of stuff. That's what it was.
Did you manage to bump into any of the pro riders and chat with them and get autographs? And
Oh, yeah. I think I told you, like, I swore I wasn't going to do it.
No.
I was going to do the photos.
Starstruck.
Yeah. And I'll admit, the first time I saw Bethany Shriver, I was like, nah, phone's out. All right, we're doing a selfie, you know? So
No worries, Dozer.
Yeah, well, yeah, didn't work as hard as that guy. So, but no, it's interesting how close they are. And we were at the entrance where all the pros were coming in on the race days before they walked into the country tents and stuff like that. And the kids were just running up to them, autographs, photos and stuff like that. And they were really sort of accepting and really enjoying that part of it, which I thought was cool.
That's so good.
Yeah. You know, someone like Kai White, he was there for ages, and I think it was maybe Evans was the team manager's like, we've got to go. You know, I thought, you know, to see him give back and have a bit of time for those kids was really cool. So
That's good to hear.
from watching the live feed at Sleeman, the first and second corner looked a bit tight. Even the third one caused a few problems, didn't it? How was that, being on the ground and actually seeing that kind of racing?
Again, until you're in person, you see it, and the speeds that come into that first turn, you understand how a small mishap is disastrous to a whole moto, you know?
Yeah.
So, to see our local boy Josh Jolly, I think both days crash out in the first turn, like just being in the mix, like they're just going that hard.
Yeah.
When he's normally so confident and everything on a bike. I mean,
he's confident. That's why he had his nose in there.
Yeah.
So, but it's just those speeds and the margin for error is just...
Tiny.
Yeah. So
what was the highlight there for you?
the highlight for me...
Not breaking down the van on the way up there.
Yeah, that's it. I'm sure something went wrong. There's always something.
You're like a big magnet when it comes to that.
Yeah. Personal highlight for me was meeting Mattia Furlong, who's the Stay Strong team manager, the world team, and he got our national team and their world team together, and we sort of had a big team photo, and we all got to meet each other and stuff like that. And I thought that was cool. That sort of made our little family feel a bit broader.
So that was Sleeman. Did you watch the Rotorua live feed?
Yeah, I did.
I haven't paid too much attention to the New Zealand tracks myself, but man, that track was awesome.
Yeah.
Makes me want to go to New Zealand and have a few races, even as a slow old amateur.
Really, that track?
Yeah.
Look gnarly.
Oh yeah, but I mean, I'm not going to be going as fast as the gnarly guys.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do splits like Michael Bias did.
Yeah. Oh shit, yeah. No, that was good racing though.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
The Greenup brothers, to see them both do really well both days, it's sort of, you know, they're one of those families that will sort of succeed through the World Cup scene.
Yeah, a lot of the Kiwis did really well. I didn't expect them to be as competitive, being as isolated as they are. I mean, sure, they get a lot of competition from the Aussies when there's big events over there.
Yeah.
But I had no idea. I knew there was Rico Bierman and Michael Bias and formerly Sarah Walker, but I didn't realise there were so many other riders coming through.
Yeah.
Is that from home track advantage, you think, or not? Not
But
really?
given them an extra boost confidence-wise, because they've spent so much time on that track, and they could carry that confidence through to Sleeman, which seemed to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But still, they still have the skill and the speed and strength to, you know, like you said, you know they're quick, but until you put the rest of the world in their pocket, you don't know how quick they are.
Yeah.
And, you know, they performed.
I mean, in the under-23s, they didn't have quite as many of the European riders that would do the European rounds of the World Cup.
Yeah.
So maybe it gave them the chance to sort of sparkle a bit.
Yeah.
Where, you know, if they had gone to France or somewhere else, it might have been a bit tougher with bigger fields and deeper talent. I always have to be careful with what I say around Gary.
My mind's just going to...
So at the moment, Cedric Booty is winning the World Cup in the men's. He's leading the points overall. And obviously Saya with, 2 seconds? She's leading the women's. So they've both got a pretty good chance to follow that up at Tulsa and take the overall, which means a lot, obviously. World Cup qualifying ends. And I mean, World Cup, I'm sure if you win the World Cup overall, it means a lot to you personally.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Cedric Booty's been sort of knocking at the heels of those top guys for so long. It's good to see him in front and with a good opportunity to take the win.
And a different name on the board for a change.
Yeah.
I mean, not to take away from the other guys, but, you know, it's nice to see
Good to mix it
a
up.
contender, you know.
Yeah, it's clear that, you know, the program, the Swiss program, Swiss or Switzerland, it's the same thing, isn't it?
Not when you haven't cheese. I've been able to find any Switzerland cheese.
It's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Their program's really made a big difference, although Simon Marquardt hasn't quite got the kind of results you kind of expect from him. He's
No, bummed. Like, I was a big fan of his, like watching all his social media stuff. And it seems that, like, after his world champ, he'd never really carried it on, like, and kept building on it. It seemed to just sort of come in and out, you know.
I thought maybe he'd have a new bike psych with the new Speaker ride, and things might change. I mean, we did see some elements of, you know, his speed and power and skill at the start of the World Cup, but it didn't really translate into podiums, did it? So I'm looking forward to watching Tulsa this weekend. Are you going to be watching that one?
Me? No. No, I will be. I'll be watching a lot of TV soon.
We could talk about that a little bit later.
Okay.
And hopefully very soon afterwards we'll be able to do a wrap-up and talk to people more, like closer to the event.
So not wait 6 months. And that's hard to sing. Like, since last time we did an episode, so much BMX has happened.
Yeah.
And you really don't know where to go, hey, this, that and that. And I mean...
So much of it's old news.
Well, it does become, or like even general conversations we have day to day, you know, you go, oh, that's a good topic or whatever. But another 12 will happen in that time, you know what I mean? Topics, that is.
Something more recent is we raced at the Bendigo State Series on the weekend. It's the first time I'd been to Bendigo since state championships about 18 months ago.
Yeah, well.
Oh, for a race at least.
Yeah.
And the track's pretty good, pretty fast.
Yeah.
Bendigo put on some good weather for us. You didn't actually get around to racing.
No, I did one lap at practice, I think.
How did it feel in that one lap?
Well, I was cheeky. I was up there a couple of weeks before and I did some track time. So, yeah, I like what they've done with the track, new surface and a couple of little changes and stuff like that. And track flows really well. And, I mean, we know, most of the members from up Bendigo and stuff like that. So it's always a good atmosphere and it always seems to be a bit more like hanging out with mates and racing.
It is a bit more relaxed.
Yeah.
Bendigo's always been like that, though.
Yeah.
I remember years ago when we were pro shopping up there, they'd always make you feel so welcome and go that extra mile.
My God, they had some good food vendors there. I had to stay away from.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't call in on my way through.
Smoked meats and all sorts.
serious?
Oh, yeah.
Jeez.
And sitting there eating your protein bar and eating a banana or something like that and seeing someone go past with this pulled pork and you're like...
So there's no real highlights from Bendigo for me. I just enjoyed the weekend away and watching the younger talent. I think of Victoria's pro riders, Wade Turner probably would have been the most well known. And then obviously profiles, Matt from Bendigo himself. He did pretty well, but I think he finished with a 5th or something in the final. 6th maybe?
No.
5th?
Hey, didn't he finish on the podium?
No.
No, he must have been 5th behind Bellows.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was running hot all day. And I remember after his semi, he and Wade went out, and I said, "Man, like you're looking really good today." He goes, "I feel good." And for a guy that doesn't always ride the super class, he still got pace. So it was hard to pick who was going to win the final. And to see Wade actually win it, it was really good. Actually, it was a really, really fast lap by the top 5.
So talking about Matt White, he's going to the World Championships. In a few weeks now, 3 weeks?
Yeah.
20 days.
Like a whole bunch of other Aussies, we've had quite a few people through here getting bikes zhuzhed up and
parts and
prepared and
Getting things sorted, ready.
What are you looking forward to most about the Worlds?
I always like watching the Worlds and seeing the local kids and the ones that will sort of always perform really well on the local stage, and everyone's curious as to how they weigh up against the rest of the world. So that's what I like to see, and you watch them. You just watch their path, whether it just be motos or semis or whatever, and because I think we all like to think that you're competitive on a bigger stage, and I'll just live through everyone else.
You've never done a Worlds before, have you?
No.
Do you think you'll get out there and do the 2026 ones when they come to Brisbane?
Doesn't mean I have to ride a cruiser or something.
It probably does actually, because it's a 35 and over class, isn't it? On 20s.
Yeah. So that's what we noticed with before Nationals, all these old boys buying and building cruisers, and like, what's this about? It's because they want to qualify for the Worlds, So I'm not that desperate.
Okay, so we'll move on to some products. So we're going to change the format a little bit. We've spent a bit of time developing some videos where we can showcase specific products. So we're just going to show you some of the products we've done those showcases on, and then we can refer you to those videos. So, Gazza, what have we got over there?
We've got some new... The Answer Typhoon chainring's been in for a little while, but now it's available in 5-bolt as well as the 4. So Shane's done a quick expose on those, which will be up on YouTube if you want to check that out. We'll probably add the link to it.
Probably, yeah.
Probably. And also, Profile have been doing some hand polishing lately of push stems and whippet chain rings. And again, Shane's done a little bit of a story on that, which will be up on YouTube. So
it is actually up on YouTube.
It is actually. You'd already put that one up. But yeah. So we just thought we'd try that format. Instead of going on about products, we'd just introduce them a little bit and then more detailed clips that so we don't bore you too much on the way through.
I know the grips are all black, so they're hard to see.
I didn't even see them.
You don't have your glasses on.
No, I didn't.
But they're not camouflaged.
I don't need glasses.
Show those ones off as well.
Yeah, so the inside grips, we're doing, Shane's also done, Ryan and I will do some product videos as well. But
I look much prettier.
Shane just hogs it. So, the inside grips, the COGS grips. So, again, just an affordable grip in 3 options and 3 length options and 3 colours. At $29.99, they're a killer. And if you want more detail, again, check Shane out. on YouTube. So that's just products we've done at the moment. We'll be continuing that format as we move forward. So
just a quick follow-up on our last video. We really went down to the nitty-gritty of the Elite AL crank, but we didn't know everything about them at the time. So we've managed to get a few more details for people who have been chasing up Q factor. So it works out the Q factor is 173 mil, which is exactly the same as the Shimano DXR. So for a profile crank, the Q factor is much narrower than what people might be used to. And to a lot of people who have been changing from the chromoly profile cranks, it's made a big difference. I mean, you've said that as well, haven't you?
Yeah, we've spoken about it plenty of times, but I went from the chromo elites to the ALs.
And wasn't that like 10 mil difference or something?
Yeah, it's huge.
Massive mil.
Especially when you clipped in. Like if you're on flat pedals and your feet float around anyway, you might not notice it. But when you actually clipped in and you dictated where your feet are going, like you definitely notice it. So
I can't work out if you're picking on me or if you're just rubbing it in that I can't use them.
No. Clips. Hey, I've got way better things to pick on you about than clip shoes, man.
Speaking of platforms.
So we have ordered a whole bunch of the Pedaling Innovations Catalyst pedals. So we'll have them in stock in Australia. In the past, they've only been available overseas. So we should have them possibly next week.
Probably in about a week, yeah.
So just check out ecistore.com.au for those, and they'll pop up as soon as they're available.
Yep.
That's about all I have on my list, but I do want to put a shout out to Michael Bias, who's a big friend of ECITV. He's had a great season so far, probably his best ever. He's currently ranked 14th in the World Cup, which is not too bad for a local boy or for a Kiwi. And he's world ranked number 28. So hopefully he can keep his momentum going, and we'll be cheering him on this weekend.
How high does he have to make it in the ranking before, typically like we do with Kiwis, we make him an Australian?
I reckon he's pretty close.
Pretty close?
Yeah. All those interviews I've been doing with him, I think it's washed out his accent. So
yeah, perfect. I suggested years ago that we say, you can have Paul Knox back, we'll take Michael.
An exchange program.
Yeah, that's it. The other one's broken.
It just keeps getting broken.
Yeah, that's it. So, no, it's good. It's actually, that was one thing too. That's great seeing him up where I think he deserves to be.
Oh, God, yeah. The amount of work he puts in is incredible.
Yep.
He seems to be getting a lot of attention lately too. I've noticed BMX Weekly and Rich Eames, the BMX commentator, both done interviews with him recently, and he's just, as he's getting older, he just seems to be getting better and better. And I think we normally say that about Lauren Reynolds, but he's starting to do the same.
Yeah. Man, that's a new phase of BMX.
Yeah.
Maybe we might make a comeback or something. Oh, we too past.
Yeah, it's not working for me. Maybe I should drink wine.
There's a tipping point. Yeah.
That's all I've got on my list.
Well, I haven't got much on my list.
I don't have a list.
No, that's right.
I'm not that organised.
What about you, Ryan? You got anything else to talk about before we go?
Not really. I mean, like I said, there's plenty of things that are going on with national rounds. You know, we had Sam Willoughby only the other week. But it's just more the hype. Everyone's getting prepared for the Worlds, and that's what's exciting. We have people coming in and, you know, riders, factory dads, all that sort of stuff that are just overthinking everything and stressing and not realising that once they're on the track, you can't do anything about it. So it's fun. You know, it's fun to see all that.
It's good being involved with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Even if you're not going yourself, just being involved is fantastic. Helping people out.
Yep, exactly.
I guess one thing that I've noticed is it's getting colder and wetter. So if winter kicks in, are you going to make any changes to your riding, or are you still going to get out there and do as much riding as you can?
Yeah.
Or are you still going to work all day in a t-shirt?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think I went through the princess phase last year when I got sick of cleaning all my chrome parts. But
So
we've already had a couple of,
So you took them off?
Yeah. So we had a couple of drizzly nights already, and it's just like, look, I prefer the ride.
Yeah.
So, yeah, harden up a bit.
I think I'm still solar powered, so you might not see a lot of me.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably about it.
Yep. Hopefully we'll see you very soon.
Yep. Yeah, hopefully we're back a bit quicker than 5 months. I think that's roughly what it was. So, stay safe out there.
Take it easy.
Cheers.